Hi friends, Zoe here. And as you guys know, going through a lot of changes right now, figuring out work, like what's happening with a contract that I'm on, and if that doesn't come through, what do I do next? So I'm brainstorming some ideas, trying to figure out what to do there. And I'm also trying to figure out about where to live. Do I stay? Do I go? I've been looking at places and they are either not happening at all, I don't know what's going on, or they're so out of my price range, which is so much like what happens in a big city. And it's been really challenging to see places be like $1,500 more. So, and the struggle is, if I stay, they're going to be doing construction. If I leave, it's a whole other thing. So what I'm finding that's happening, because I'm trying to figure out two parts of my life, and I'm waking up at like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning and feeling really anxious, like really out of my body. And even during the day, when I say like out of my body, I find I'm just sitting up. It's almost like I can look down on myself because I'm just sitting in this place of like worry, worry, worry. And that's such an easy thing for me to do. It's like be in the worry. So what I'm working on doing is like, what are all of the techniques that I have found through the years, through all the things I've tried that work to help me regulate my nervous system, and to just even like get me to relax, like beyond regulate my nervous system. Like, how do I actually relax? And none of them are working. Like everything I go to, like meditating, fall asleep. I try to go for a relaxing walk. I'm like anxious all the time. I try to like just lie down and be present in my body. That doesn't work. The things like going swimming. So normally I would be going swimming as well. I find that helps me. I just don't have the desire to get in the pool. So there's all these like weird things that are happening in that. All of my go-to ways of being able to regulate my nervous system and to relax me in my body, like meditating, pulling cards, sitting in the backyard, going for a walk, even talking to friends. Like for some reason, I can't get through to friends, or they're busy right now. So it's interesting. There's a lot happening even in that. So yeah, and even like being able to go outside, it's been so overcast and really gray. So I've been struggling with all of those things. And what I've realized, and I hope this helps someone, because a lot of the things that I go to are very mellow. And what I'm finding right now, the things that I need are like energy. Like I need to like move it. It's like energy that's in my body. And what I mean by that is like I can feel myself kind of like vibrating. Like I'm not able to go like be relaxed. You know, when you can close your eyes and you can feel your shoulders drop and feel relaxed. I don't have that right now. I have more feeling this sense of like buzzy energy that's anxious. So the two things that in the last like day that I've really found have been helping is, one, dancing in the backyard. I know that sounds hilarious, and I put up a video, which is like, it's so funny. From doing this, it takes me like 3 songs to get out of my head of like, I look silly, I should dance this way, I should look a particular way, and just to really be in the full body movement. And then I can go a little bit crazy. And that movement of energy is so great because it's the after. The after is what's like so great. After, it's like this, the energy has moved through the body, so I can like, oh. It's like when I was trying humming and I was doing the humming, it was actually when I stopped the humming. It was like the quiet after. So there's another thing that I'm doing right now, and it looks very weird. So I'm going to like preface this with like, there are 2 things about it that make it very odd. Number 1 is the, for like lack of a better word, is the device I'm going to use. And number 2 is the actual action of it is equally as weird, but it's really working for me. And it's in that vein of doing like moving the energy. So doing an action, doing something that gets you to like move your body. And I'm finding right now for me, is the perfect thing. And I don't even want to show you this thing, because the very first time my trainer, lovely human being from Australia, Ryan Bearclough, hello, my friend, he introduced me to this device. I'll come up with another name for it at some point. And it was being used by the Australian Olympic team to be able to work on their smaller muscle groups. So, you know, it sounds fantastic. Like in theory, it's an amazing, oh my God, now my brain is saying contraption. So we're gonna go with device because that's a better thing to do. And so then he brought it for me to work on. And oh my God, it is hilarious. So, all right, let me introduce you to this thing, and then I'll show you what the move is. Okay, you ready? I think so. Okay, I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna show it to you so that I can you can see it. All right, this thing is called an oov. Yeah, this is what it looks like. It is a solid foam. We're all thinking it, really. We know what we're talking about here. This is like a, yes, yes, yes. Okay, we're all gonna say that because I'm sure you're thinking the same thing that I thought the very first time. But the idea is that it actually mirrors the curvature of your spine. So when you sit on it, when you sit on it, so you're, oh gosh, all over me. When you put your bum here and then your spine sits in here, the release on your hip flexors is unbelievable. The release in your, because it holds your spine, it holds your shoulders open, and it is the most relaxing thing to sit on. But there's also the move. So I will show you what it is, and then I'll explain what's going on. So that's it. It's like the simplest little move, but for me, it makes such a huge difference, because what I find is that by, oh my gosh, I'm still out of breath, is by shaking the body, it's like taking all of that, what's the word? You know, when you have that worry energy and it just kind of bristles under the skin, that worry energy that I normally feel that sits under there, that's kind of this vibrating feeling, by moving my body in this completely erratic way, but shaking everything. It's, the shake feels good, but it's the after. Oh, it's like the calm after the storm that actually works so well, because I find that most of the things that I go to support my worry is when I go to things that are more mellow, but I need something right now that is energy. And I'm recognizing that there is a place for both things. And there's obviously going to be a spectrum of that as well too. There's nothing binary. It's understanding what my body needs in those different moments. And I can feel that when I'm in that feeling of worry and anxiety, it's this buildup of energy in my body. And I, in the past, will just kind of hope it goes away. Or what I'll do, which I've recognized that I do a lot, is I'm definitely an emotional eater, and I will go to food. And I'll use food to try and change the, to regulate myself, to change the mood. So if I'm feeling anxious, I'm in a place of discomfort. And so what I want to do is bring pleasure to the experience. So I will eat something that I like. And that is, it's not healthy, and I'm working on it because now I'm really aware of it. But I feel this does the same thing. It's when I have that big sense of worry energy, that doesn't always need a soft touch. It needs something that really shifts how I feel and moves the energy out. I just kind of need to move it out. Even when I'm dancing in the backyard, I will flick my hands a lot. I don't know why, but it's almost without it being like considered movement. Does that make sense? Considered movement, like conscious or exact, or I don't know, whatever the way you describe that. But this, to be like full floppy jalopy, it's like giving myself permission to be imperfect, giving myself permission to just be in that energy, that worry, and get it out. So the nice thing with this move is, like, obviously I know very few people are going to have an oob at home, but we all have a floor. So if you have a floor, we all have floors. Because you have a floor, just lying on your back with your feet up and doing that shaking, so it goes up your calves, up your quads, into your hips, into your body, bring in your shoulders and your arms, and then do the hand flick. That, I don't know why, but it feels amazing. Even like 2 nights ago, I woke up in the middle of the night, and those are the trickiest times. Like when I wake up at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I know you probably know that feeling as well. Many of us wake up at that time, and that is like such a difficult worry time. And for me, I wake up with my heart pounding, my mind is already racing, and I've come from like asleep. So being able to figure out what to do in those situations, I honestly, most of the time I have no idea what to do. So I have a couple tricks, but none of those are about like moving the energy out of my body. So when I woke up at 3, I did this lying in bed, and it was so helpful. So I'll normally do it like 5 times in a row. I don't know why, but after like the 4th time, it's like my body doesn't connect in the same way. It's almost like maybe it's decided it's moved the energy, and it's good. But when I woke up, I did like 4 of them in a row. I don't know what it is, but I was able to go back to sleep right away. So yeah, I hope that helps. I think for me, it's been helpful to understand that not everything about worry is about coming at it from like a soft touch, that there is a spectrum of how I need to deal with it. And I know for me, it's taken me a long time to learn that. So if that helps anybody, and yeah, and that can help you in a time when you're feeling worried or you're feeling anxious, or you just like wanna, not even that, the pensive thought. I think like for just getting back in your body. And maybe that's kind of the same thing, because when I'm in worry, I'm out of my body. I'm like around myself. I'm like in the worry zone. I'm not like, okay, how do I feel about this? I'm in the, what am I thinking? What's the thing I need to worry about? So those feel like, as I'm on this journey, I'm like figuring out those are the differences of being in my body. Feels like it's coming from a grounded place where I can even feel it, like my coccyx sits down a little bit more. My shoulders relax. All of those things for me are starting to indicate, oh, I feel like I'm in my body in that moment. But when I'm not, when I'm in worry, I'm like going down those deer tracks, like the worry deer tracks, things that I need to be worried about. So the more that I can get back into my body, the more I'm learning my own truth. Does that make sense? I'm figuring it out too. Maybe it does make sense to you. Okay, so I'm gonna stop yabbering. I hope that helps. And yeah, give it a try and let me know. Like, did that work for you? I'd be so curious to hear. Okay. Ooh. Oh my God, and don't tease me about this. Oh my God, even like, it really is the funniest thing. But it is so good. I can't even. Okay, I'm not gonna like yabber on about the oob, but this thing is hilarious. I have traveled with it so many places. Like I've actually put this in a backpack. Clearly it took up like the whole backpack. But this thing has been such a lifesaver for me. So, but again, you can just do all the stuff. Okay. Just don't make fun of me about my oob. Woo!